Hi, I'm Andrew Carroll, and I want to talk about something that has to do with my brother's shirt over here. It includes people like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, the Wright brothers, and Churchill. You might not know their correlation, but they were all homeschoolers. I'm personally homeschooled, and I want to inform you a little bit about it. First, I want to talk about the history of homeschooling, giving you a basic timeline of it. Then, I just want to talk about how homeschoolers are actually smarter, based off of statistics when we enter college. And then finally, I want to talk about the big question when it comes to homeschooling. Why do parents do it? Because it's not all about the knowledge. So to start off, the timeline of homeschooling. This comes from the Georgia Home Education Association, and it starts off stating that pilgrims instituted homeschooling in not a public school. So, for the beginning, we did not have public schooling. Therefore, we were all homeschooled. And this kept on going through the Founding Fathers. So all our Founding Fathers were homeschooled. And that means that the Declaration of Independence and the Constitution were written by and read by a bunch of homeschoolers. Now, when did the public school system actually join then? It joined around 1837, when it was brought in by Massachusetts. Massachusetts made it mandatory in 1857. Now, this is important to note that it's only Massachusetts here. The other states take a while to come in, and they enter around the early 1900s. Now, this stops homeschooling for a while since they've made it mandatory until the 1860s, where we decide that we want homeschooling back, and we get it back. We still don't do it in large portions, but currently we are getting huge, significant amounts of new homeschoolers. Every 8 years or so, we get double the amount we had 8 years prior. So homeschooling is skyrocketing, and it's becoming more and more popular. So that's really the history of homeschooling in the United States. Now, why would it be skyrocketing? One of the major reasons is the fact that we are just smarter. And that can be proven by one, our SAT and ACT scores. Our aptitude test scores are higher than those of public schoolers. They're about 2 points higher for ACT scores and around 50 points higher for the PSAT scores. So that points out that based off aptitude tests, we're already smarter. Now, obviously aptitude tests are included in this, but when it comes to college admissions, we are also generally brought in more. We have a higher acceptance rate into colleges. Although this includes the SAT, it includes other academic findings. Now, once we're in college, we also have a higher chance of success. That means we'll be getting more A's and we'll be more valedictorians and honor roll students. Now, this would correlate with the final point that really proves that homeschoolers are smarter, which onlinecollege.org ends it with the fact that homeschoolers graduate more. And the fact that homeschoolers graduate more from college gives the whopping proof that homeschoolers are smarter, especially when it comes to at least entering college. Now, finally, the big question of why homeschoolers homeschool. Now, the Department of Education uses statistics to try to determine this themselves, and the number one reason they found for people to homeschool was actually nothing to do with the scholastics, but with the radioactive environment. The environment that schools have that they feel is negative towards their children. So that's the first reason and number one reason people homeschool. The second reason has something similar to do with it, and that is they want to teach their children morals, right and wrong, what's good and what is bad. The third thing that the statistics from the Department of Education states is that of knowledge. The point we already illustrated earlier, that homeschoolers are just generally smarter, and they want to make their kids smarter. They feel that the schools are lacking. The final point and fourth point on why parents homeschool is that spirituality. They want to teach their children the spiritual ways instead of just what normal public schoolers have to listen to. No matter what, people have different beliefs, and they want their beliefs to be the ones that their children learn. So, in overview, we've seen a timeline that includes the Pilgrims, the Founding Fathers as homeschoolers, and has shown how it was destroyed and then brought back. Then we've looked at how homeschoolers are just smarter. through 4 different facts brought by onlinecollege.org. Then we finally looked at why people homeschool anyways. Because of the radioactive environment, because of moral instruction, and 2 other points on knowledge and spiritual learning. So why do we know so many people that are famous and homeschooled, like George Washington and Abraham Lincoln on my brother's shirt? It's because homeschooling has been amazing. Now quickly, these are just some citations for you on the 3 sources I used: the Georgia Home Education Association, the collegeonline.org, and finally, but last but not least, the Reasons Parents Homeschool, which was the collection of data from the Department of Education. Thank you.